Hey guys, taking another little break. I worked really hard yesterday pulling a lot of grapevine out and sweeping under the solar panels and moving skids and stuff like that. So if you saw that video, you'll understand. I spent 4 months in Ohio and I really got very little exercise because I did do some things for my sister, but then my hip started giving me a lot of trouble. And I was sitting with ice packs on it and stuff like that. It was just miserable. But uh, when I came back here to Missouri, I went and saw my chiropractor, and got that squared away. And then I saw an orthopedic doctor when I used up all my chiropractic visits, which I only had like 3 or 4 left for that year. So I went to see an orthopedic surgeon about my hip just to see, if I was going to end up breaking something if I kept working so hard. And he told me, your hips are in great shape. He said, your joints are too close together. He said, it's like you have bursitis. So he said, the more exercise you get and, do some stretching and things like that, which I never remember to do any stretching, and you'll be good. And it's flared up off and on, and then I'll, take it easy for a little bit and take something for pain, usually Tylenol. A couple Tylenol helps with it. But when I first moved here, we would get small copperheads that would come up in the yard. And my dad was really afraid of them. Airplane. And Dave didn't like messing with them. I don't think he was that afraid of them, but he didn't like messing with them. He would take the leaf blower and blow on them until they took off instead of killing them. Well, if you get one copperhead in your yard and they breed and then they have live babies, they don't lay eggs, and they have a lot at one time, so they'll breed off and on all summer through November, and you'll have a yard full of snakes. So I took it upon myself to be the one to kill them, but I was smart about it. I mean, we had this barrel that was cut off about, till it was only about that high. It had a bottom in it and everything, and I would put it in front of my legs and kind of roll it back and forth and get the copperhead's attention. And then I would take the shovel over the top of the barrel and stab down at the back of their neck, and then stand on the shovel until the head came off. So I killed 4 of those like that one summer. Then I didn't see any for a long time, and we had a bad drought. I mean, it didn't rain for 6 months. I mean, we were having to go to town and buy water, rainwater. I mean, normally I collect rainwater, but we were having to go to town and buy a 300-gallon tank of rainwater, or water. It's drinking water, but water to shower and wash dishes and that kind of thing, because I don't have a well. So, in drought conditions, and we didn't have, it was my friend's 300-gallon tank, not mine. All I had were these 55-gallon drums, and you'll see the, back there in the, where is it? Back there, see those blue drums? That's what we would always catch our rainwater in. And I had drilled holes in the sides at the top of each one of them and attached a hose between them. And the water would come out of the gutter and go into the first one, and it would sequentially, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what word I'm trying to think of. But it would fill the first one. Then it would get to the top where I had the hole about that far up and go through the hose into the next one. And when that one would fill, then it would fill the next one. And I had like 4 of them that way. And generally, we always had water. Well, that year we had no water to speak of. So every time it rained, it was like we set every big pan we had under the roof line to catch as much as we could. Well, now I have 2 300-gallon tanks, and there was one night I checked my tank and it was about about a third full. And I have one like 10-foot piece of gutter coming off my little makeshift porch, which is all going to change. But it was coming off the top of my little makeshift porch, going down a ramp and into the top of the tank. Well, we got rain that was pretty heavy for like an hour. I came out the next day and it was completely full. And then I have one on the back of the house that the gutter goes from, there's 10 foot of gutter and then maybe another 6 or 8 foot of gutter going that direction, and then a downspout that comes down into that tank. So I had plenty of water, but this particular year we just didn't have a lot. And we would come outside to take showers. We had a pallet shower built with a pallet floor. It was up off the ground about this far, on block, and stood in there and took a shower. And with our little pump thing, like in the video I showed before, and they were going underneath there to get water. So yeah, so that summer I killed some of those. I think I killed 2 that summer. Since then I haven't seen any, but since I was gone for 4 months, and the grass was still getting mowed while I was gone, but there wasn't a lot of traffic around here, so I've been kind of just waiting, because I have a feeling. You want to come over here? I have a feeling. Are you going to stick your nose in it? Oh, okay. She's going to block me. I have a feeling that, I might see 1 or 2 this year, so I've been really careful about it. So far, all I've seen is like a little brown snake, about as big as around as my pinky, and he was in my ash pile, and it was a cold day, and I just let him live because they're fine. They eat all the frogs and tadpoles in my front yard because I have that runoff pond, and it gets full of tadpoles, and they help keep that cleared up. But I don't worry about the brown snakes or the black snakes. And then we have it's a ribbon snake. Man, they're shiny black and they're really fast. And I let them live because they actually kill copperheads. I also don't have any farm animals, so I don't worry about possums if they're around. I let them live because they are actually immune. Say hi, Momo. I know you hear stuff. It's okay. They're actually immune to the venom of any snake, poisonous snake. So possums are good to have around for that reason, and plus they eat ticks and all the bugs you don't like. So I don't mess with them. Now my neighbors don't care for them because they like to eat their chickens and the eggs and stuff. So they're ugly little critters, but I don't care. Let them be. Anyway, so I'm about 90% sure I'll at least see 1 this year, and I worry more about her getting bit than me. I mean, dogs can still survive, but they don't carry. I mean, they don't have anti-venom at the vet. What they do is they put them in isolation and run an IV and antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. But I worry about her because if I don't know she's gotten bit, it could be too late. So that's why I'm really glad she stays pretty close to me, and I don't let her outside by herself very much. But I've been, I'll keep cleaning up the yard and keeping the leaf piles and sticks piles away, and plant some things that are a deterrent for snakes, like, and my lips being out in the sun yesterday, like rosemary, anything that's got a big smell, keeps snakes away. So I'll have some of those planted on my porch, and I'm thinking about putting some pots of it up in here. I was thinking about hostas or lily of the valley up in here, but that creates a cover for snakes, so I don't want that. So I don't know. I may just think I may just put down rock up in there, try to vegetation kill the rest of the grass and just not worry about it. And it'll keep them. They don't like anything too rough unless they're getting rid of their skin. So, but anyway, I have it's a flat hoe that I use. Where are you going? You want up on the table? You need to quit blocking my camera, honey. But I'll show you. It's a this is what it looks like. Needs a little sharpening, but it's flat. See? And it's for turning dirt and stuff like that. I've been using it to, you know, kill snakes with. It cuts their head off real nice. But I always keep it nearby when I'm doing any work outside in case something comes along that I need to get rid of. So we also have, I mean, we've got the water moccasins, but I haven't seen one. I've been here 5 years. And we go swimming in spring-fed waters all the time, and the only thing I've ever seen is a copperhead. And as soon as we started jumping in the water, he took off for parts unknown. And he was a pretty big one. I mean, it was at least that big around. And I walked up to the water, and as soon as we started splashing, I seen it get away from us. They don't like people. They don't want to be around us. So the more noise you make, the less likely they are to hang around. Like I said, the most important thing is she doesn't get bit. Because if I get bit, or even if she gets bit and I know about it, she'll survive probably. I know I will. So, do I want to get bit by a snake? No. But I'm not afraid to get out here and work and make a lot of noise and scare them off first, of course. And I'm not afraid to do any work out here because, oh, my hoe fell. Because, you know, it's just not an issue. I think Momo went under the house to lay in the shade. And that's another place that I worry about. But I got to get my leaf blower out here and blow underneath there periodically. Every time I come out to do yard work, I'll be blowing under there. Because, you know, if they know you frequent that area, they won't come back. So, anyway, I just wanted to tell you about that. We've got timber rattlers, but I've never seen one of those. They live in big trees, and I don't have any really big trees, except down below, and I don't hang out down there. But the farm over there, my road goes down around, and they're on that side of the road. They're on the right side of the road down there. So that farm has some really big trees, so there's probably something over there. But like I said, here, nobody's ever seen a timber rattler. Nobody I've talked to has ever seen one. But we do get copperheads. And my neighbor has been building a house, so they have lumber stacked here and there and things stacked around to work on the house. And he went to move a pallet that had been down for a while. And when he did, there were some under there. And they were aggressive, and we think it was because they were probably breeding, because snakes will all get in one big pile and breed with each other. So anyway, didn't mean to do snake porn. Talk about snake porn. But anyway, that's about it. That's all I wanted to tell you. There are tarantulas. Never seen one. Truthfully, I keep the grass mowed. I keep the yard cleaned up, and the only chance I would ever really see something like that is if I really looked for it in the woods, because they don't come up to the house. And like I said, I don't mind the non-venomous snakes. It's the copperheads I don't like. So, that's it. That's my little speech about snakes. Have a good day.